Okay, guys. So I was sitting and I was thinking about the fact that while I did get the message through, I did not do it justice. I've got that problem of a big mouth. Oh well, it is what it is, guys. I can't change that. But you can't speak about submission and not speak about love. You understand? Because it's so hard to submit under a person who doesn't love you. It's so hard. But there is a problem. You can't love a person until you discipline yourself, because love demands that you discipline yourself. So we look at Jesus, guys, because I'm continuing from the last part, the part we were speaking about. Jesus, guys, commands us to do the impossible. He commands us to obey his commands, which are next to impossible to obey. And you look at that and you're like, how can a man expect me not to love money? How can a person expect me not to love the things of the world? How can a person expect me to be a nobody, a loser? Guys, when you understand Jesus and you want to obey him, you become a loser. Guys, I became a loser when I came back to my Lord. My loser God. Jesus is a loser. So he's one who was not a blessed story. Guys, he's one who was not a success story. And people here on earth want to be like, they want to hear the words, wow, did you see that? Did you see what she drives? Did you see where she lives? Did you see his designer clothes? You know what I mean? Yet Jesus is commanding us not to love the things of the world, meaning we are not going to be a success story. Jesus, you suck, my Lord. you know so you look at such commands, because we died spiritually in Adam, and Jesus comes and say, listen, you dead, and I want you to live. I want you to be good for me, but you can't be good for me. I want you to submit under me, but you can't submit under me if you're spiritually dead. Therefore, I'm going to have to die for you, meaning Jesus has to love himself first. That's why verse 25 says, husbands, love your wives just as Christ loved the church and gave himself up for her, to make her holy, cleansing her by the washing with water through the word, and to present her to himself as a radiant church, without stain or wrinkle or any other blemish, but holy and blameless. In this same way, husbands ought to love their wives as their own bodies. He who loves his wife loves himself. Guys, after all, no one ever hated their own body, but they feed and care for their body. Just as Christ does the church. This one, guys, was taken from Ephesians 5. So verse 25, I was reading from verse 25, I understand. Now what I'm saying is that you can't submit under someone who doesn't love you. Submission must come from the heart, wholehearted. Guys, I don't know, wholeheartedly, meaning this person must love you, and in order for you to submit under them the way you should, they must show you love. Jesus did that while he realized that we are dead. Guys, it says, for God so loved the world that he gave. You understand? So he loved us so much that he gave the only beloved. Guys, the one who never disobeyed him. Jesus says, I do everything my father says because I love him. Guys, you know what I mean? So Jesus did everything that daddy says because he loved daddy. But before he says that, he says, Father, the love you have for me, the love you had for me before the world began. In other words, Jesus was shown so much love, so it was easy for him to submit under daddy. And now he's coming down here on earth to get the church his wife, and we have to submit under him. So he understands that we cannot submit under him unless he shows us love first. Guys, because you will look at me and you think, why are you obeying such difficult laws? You are a slave. And then I sit and I'm like, am I a slave when I'm submitting under someone who died for me? Guys, my Lord. Hey, that dude, guys, it drives me crazy, because it's like, how can you say it's slavery when someone died for me and made me alive? How can you call it slavery when someone gave me the teaching so that I can continue obeying him, thus remaining spiritually alive, and then go to him when I leave this place? Is that slavery? Oh my word, guys. When a person tells you that submission is slavery, it's because they have never received love. Guys, husbands are lousy now. Earthly husbands are lousy now. Guys, to actually give someone love, you need to discipline your flesh. Meaning, when your man sees ladies, they have to discipline themselves instead of sleeping with everything that comes across. And if they love you, they will discipline, because guys, you see, your flesh, particularly males who want to sleep with whatever they see, when you see that beautiful lady, attractive lady, I was reading a book once and it said that when men see a beautiful woman, an attractive woman, it's like that plate of nice whatever, you know what I mean? So that's delicious food, so obviously they will want to sleep with that and taste that food, you understand? But when you love a person, you have to feel the pain of subduing this flesh, because sleeping with everything, particularly for men, is a nature, a dead nature, yes, but a nature nevertheless, you understand? So you have to punish this dead nature, meaning you are going to feel this pain by not giving in to this lust of the flesh. Why? You love your wife, you understand? And you see these beautiful things of the world and money and everything, and your flesh lusts after it. And whether you are a male or a female, you are going to discipline your flesh, and people will not be able to call you this blessed story or this success story. And because you have to fight against your flesh, you are the one who's going to feel this pain, and you are doing it because you love this person, you understand? What am I saying? I'm saying that love demands that you punish yourself. So I look at Jesus, the guy who never loved money, the guy who never loved the things of the world. He was never called a blessed story. Isaiah says there's nothing desirable about him. There was nothing desirable about him. You understand? And he never ran after sex. You understand? Why? He was disciplining himself. Guys, if Jesus had sinned, we wouldn't have become spiritually alive. Why? I needed his blood. Untainted. He is the only guy who did not come from Adam, whom Adam came from. So no one who came from Adam with the tainted blood would have helped me, would have saved me. Jesus is the only one. So he comes down here, and his flesh, because Emmanuel is put in a flesh like ours, in a flesh like Mary's. Mary was spiritually dead. You understand? So Mary partook of Adam's flesh because she also came from Noah. She also came from Adam, who died spiritually. You understand? So Jesus had dead flesh. So he had to fight the flesh, even though he's a God, but put in this flesh, which is giving him problems. So he was thinking about me and you, and says, if I sin, if I give in to this flesh, I'm not going to be able to show her love. I'm not going to be able to die for her so that she'll become spiritually alive and go back to her father. Now I have to subdue my flesh. Now I have to discipline my flesh. You understand? So submission and love goes together. You can't separate the two, guys. They are twins, two peas in a pot. You understand? They are twins. So Jesus had to subdue his flesh. It says he fought against sin to the point of shedding blood. My God, he fought against sin to the point. Guys, that guy went to that cross. Guys, I look at Gethsemane and I'm saying, my Lord, you could have ran away to Ethiopia. You could have ran away to Gethsemane and not go to the garden of Jesus, guys, could have gone to Samaria, ran away from that Gethsemane, because he knew that Judas was coming with his band of troops. You understand? And cohort and gangsters, you understand? To capture him, like someone who's done something wrong, yet didn't. You understand? But Jesus went to that very place, and it says, and he cries and he says, my soul is sorrowful to the point of death. You understand? Jesus, guys, had never asked for his disciples to pray for him and with him. You understand? Not necessarily for him, but with him. But at that time, when they needed, guys, when he needed them the most, they slept. They couldn't understand. Jesus understood them, the pain I'm going to feel. You understand? So he could have run away, but he said, no, I love the church. Daddy has given me a wife. I love the church. So I need to make sure that I cleanse her by my blood, and I give them my teachings so that they will continue obeying me, thus remain spiritually alive after getting my blood. You understand? Because if his blood was not clean, he couldn't go to that cross. We needed his blood spotless, clean, with no wrinkles, stain, nothing, unblemished. You understand? And he went to that cross with that blood. Why? Love. Guys, if you want to know love, you understand? So when a person says that, oh no, you are submitting, then you are a slave, they don't know Jesus. They've never met Jesus. They've dealt with their lousy husbands, overgrown babies who cheat on them, who bang them, beat them up, and expect them to submit under them. That's slavery, obviously. That's slavery. But Jesus died for us, made sure he died for us, and we became spiritually alive. He gave us teachings. He was stoned left, right, and center. Every time they listened to him, they stoned, understand? And he did not change, did not waver, continued with the message. Why? We needed the commands. Without those commands, even though he gave us the blood, without those commands, we cannot obey him. So he continued giving it to us, giving us the teachings, even though they did not want the teachings. And we banged him, got him out of this world, banged him thoroughly. Guys, we dealt with that dude thoroughly. You understand? Why? Love. Love. You understand? He was able to subdue his flesh. He disciplined his flesh for me and you. That's love. We are submitting under someone who loves us. You understand? And sometimes I look at the things, the decisions I make, guys, I make poor decisions. Guys, I make poor decisions. I become a non-entity and nobody, you'll swear I'm a retard. Damn, my mind is working 100%, but you'll swear I'm a retard. You understand? Why? It's because I realize that his commands are so difficult. When you have to obey them, you are like a retard. You become like a retard. Yet I sit and I'm like, I'm actually submitting under someone who actually died for me, someone who is my hero. If you ask me today, Nini, who's your hero? I'll tell you, my Lord is my hero. Jesus, I don't have a hero here on earth, but Jesus is my hero. He died for me. He gave me that blood, gave me the commands so that I'll remain spiritually. Because, guys, you see, without the commands, even though he gives us the blood, without the commands to obey them, we will die spiritually. Why? Adam died spiritually for disobeying his commands. So Jesus gives us those commands, and I sit and I'm like, my Lord, I don't even know how to pray. Only when I'm praying in tongues. Why? Because I don't know what to ask of him. He's done so much. He gave me that blood. He gave me the commands. What more do I need from him? You understand? So submitting under a person like that, you will think, oh, you're not doing this, you're not doing that, you are a slave, you're obeying Jesus. Yes, I'm obeying someone who died for me. Is that slavery? No, I'm asking you now. I'm obeying someone who died for me. Obeying his commands next to impossible. People in churches don't even have time to obey him. They do whatever they want to do. They keep having sex outside marriage with one another. You understand? Loving money, preaching blessings. Guys, riches, prosperity, career this, career that. You understand? So they do these wrong things, difficult to obey. And you'll think, are you perfect? Not really. If I was perfect, I wouldn't have changed. Guys, if I was perfect, I wouldn't have brought Jesus closer to me. You understand? But because I'm wrong in every way, the Bible was written for me, to me, because everything is wrong about me and everything is wrong with me. You understand? So I'm submitting under someone. His laws are difficult, but I'm submitting under someone who loves me, someone who died for me. Is that slavery? Is that a form of slavery? Because here on earth, if you submit, you are a slave. But I'm telling you, you submit under someone who loves you like that, someone who dies for you, then it's not slavery. Obviously, if they beat on you and cheat on you, that's slavery. Because that person will expect you to submit under them, yet they don't submit under anyone. So they don't know the pain of submission. Jesus knows it. He says, I do everything my Father commands me. Why? Because I love him. Jesus received so much love from Daddy and he submitted. So guys, the disciples, I'm proud of those dudes. They obey Jesus. They gave up things and you look at them like fools. They submitting under someone who showed them love. Guys, they've never received so much love. Guys, until you meet Jesus, you don't know love. Believe me, that guy can show so much love. You understand? So I'm asking you, is submitting under someone who dies for you slavery? Until next.